you've been lucky enough to acquire a bounty of friendships since you arrived on this planet. But there's still an emptiness nestled right in the crook of your heart's arteria. Atria. Maybe making more friend will fix it. Maybe this next one will expand inside your chest like a sponge in the bath, pushing out all your sadness and loneliness and insecurity. After all, number 20's the charm. Oh my god. Hey friends. It's me, 8Ball, back with another Hiveswap Friendism video. And today, we get to choose between Zabide and Tegiri. And I'm gonna have to go with... Is that a motherfucking JoJo's reference? Oh my god, yes. We're going with Tegiri. I love him already. So, yep, today we're going with Tegiri. I already clicked on him. Prediction for this route will be good. Let's hope to God this goes good, because Lord help me if it goes bad. In an utterly unsurprising turn of events, the night finds you trolling Alternia in search of, well, trolls. The friendly type, preferably, although you've been known to work wonders with hostile folks, too. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you fine. Teals live relatively comfortably and are usually only mildly disdainful of you. This strikes you as a good place to search for companionship. You've got another pressing concern, though. A faint glow far on the horizon, which suggests that the sun will be rising soon, a couple hours from now at most. Nights on Alternia seem to last forever, but when the daylight hits, it hits hard, like a truck. But the truck is on fire, and the fire is nuclear fusion, and the truck is a star. Point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You'd better snag a buddy before it's too late. Oh god. I have to do a voice for him. Alright, let's think. What kind of voice haven't I done? Fucking 20 trolls, man. 20, and they each have a voice. You, the strange hornless thing. Speak of the devil. You whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheathed behind his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with a rigid, composed air. What are you? Some kind of mutant troll? Or another sentient creature? He looks like Ida from My Hero Academia. Definitely the latter, you say, unless he would prefer the former, in which case you're that, actually, but mutants you've learned are not particularly well liked on this planet. Oh, he's beautiful. An alien. I won't have to cull you then. Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be a cullable on-site species. Lucky for you that I have to loose my blade, and lucky for me to have found a potential comrade. I know what you seek. Shelter, friendship, and friendship, not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moving on. You seek the meeting place of the Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art Appreciation Society. Or, as some less cultured souls will call it, the Anime Club. Oh, a club! Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. He didn't really believe it then, but maybe things are different here on Alternia. Probably not. You confidently assert that yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting due to no-shows, but now it can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. Oh my god, he's the only one in the club, isn't he? He gestures towards his hive and begins to stride confidently towards it. But then he rethinks it, pausing back to look at you. Wait. Subs or dubs? Oh no. Oh no. Well, I'm gonna save. 'Cause... oh god. Oh no, this is such a hard answer. I personally, I think both are good, but I do watch sub more than I watch dub. So... but I feel like he's a dub guy. I don't know. I'm gonna go with both. Oh no, that was the wrong answer. His expression immediately sours, a look that you're all too familiar with. If you had a mouse, you'd be frantically scrolling the wheel upwards to roll back in time to make a new choice. Yeah. Oh, so I can scroll upwards. But you live in a world, you live in the real world, where you have to face the consequences of your god-awful anime opinions. Have you no conviction? The anime club is a sanctuary for those of strong will and finely honed arguments, not a shelter of cowardly pissants. What debate can come from a psychophantic toady such as yourself? How are you going to stimulate my intellect? You begin to sputter in protest. You're plenty stimulating. You've got a pretty long list of friends who you've stimulated in all kinds of ways. Platonic ones, mostly, but he's not having any of it. There are other anime fans in this city. Perhaps their gatherings will be more of your level. Farewell. Oh my god, I love him. Okay. I wonder what the right answer is. Alright, so I'm gonna go with subs then. It's entertaining. Yeah, I knew he was a dumb guy. He looks like it. It's entertaining how wrong you are. But even the greatest of Alternia's philosophers required sparring opponents on the battlefield of intellect. To challenge your assumptions with my superior logic and taste will be a fulfilling task. Come in. I knew he was a dumb guy. Alright. Not really the reaction you were hoping for, but you'd say anything to get into someone's hive. So, you'll take it. So wait, does that- oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, oh my god. My question was, if there are subs and dubs in Alternia, does that mean there's another Alternian language? Like, or is it just Japanese? Is he just watching Earth anime? No, it looks like troll anime to me. But is there really another... is there like dialects or something? I don't know. Well, I'd like that to be answered. Tegiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow. and you step into the foyer. The hive looked normal from the outside, normal by troll standards at least, but the inner decor has an entirely different vibe to it. It reminds you of Japanese architecture. Yeah. Tegiri takes off his sandals before entering the next room, and you take your shoes off too. If you would take your shoes off too if you had any. As you step into his living room, you are assaulted. Not literally, thankfully, by an absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did a Google search of otaku collection and opened up the first result. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of the wall available, and the inches of the wall that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVDs, manga, and other forms of media. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy a veritable cornucopia of anime figures, most of them who seem to be in varying states of undress. You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alternia, and both would be a lie. Oh my god, look at this one. One Piece. Let's see how many I can pick out of here. Is that gone? Okay. Tegiri has arranged his merch meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom to fuchsia at the top. I see you are admiring my fine Eastern Alternian collectibles. I polish them daily, as I polish my blade. Don't touch them or you'll taste folded steel. Ah, it's beautiful. I love it. You slowly retract your hand. You wouldn't dream of touching them. That was never ever something you were planning on doing. You won't even breathe on them. What is on his body pillows? Oh my god, they're covered in soap or slime. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles, just in case. Oh, he has a sheep with two tails. With that step, you bump into something behind you, and you hear a soft rough. As you spin around to look, you see what must be Tegiri's Lucis, surveying you with an intense gaze. It looks a lot like a Shiba Inu, if they were twice the size and had opposable everything. Honestly, watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing at you is pretty entrancing. I like it. It's probably my favorite on this list other than the tick. Oh, and, lady. Eventually you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room. You hear some rustling in what you assume is a kitchen. Oh my god. That was Tadashi Inu, my Lucis. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei. Yeah, dogs are great, you respond, and then immediately wish you could take that back. Dogs are great. That's got to be the blandest possible statement you could have made. And possibly inaccurate, too. What is this thing? Called, like, a bark beast? Fetch friend? Wolf gremlin? Oh, Tegiri isn't even paying attention to you anymore. He's busy pursuing his shelves, picking out some DVDs. Per my viewing schedule, we'll watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic, and from one recent release. But, since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of last bout series. Philosopher Half-Iron? Okay. Oh my god. Full Metal Alchemist! Perhaps we shall instead begin with the first season of School-Fed Heroism. and transition into some episodes of Kismet Stuck Morning. I know School-Fed Heroism is probably My Hero Academia, but I don't know what the other one is. The original airing, of course, not the censored one with the ridiculous CGI dragon. Ugh. It looks like Tegiri intends to take full control of the morning's activities, which you find entirely copacetic. Okay. We're going with that. The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up. Me too, honey. It's gotten to it's what? Nope, that's not what it says at all. It's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far, so you're sticking to it. With deft and precise movements, Tegiri retrieves a disc from its container and pops it into the troll equivalent of a DVD player. It makes a slimy chugging noises as it sucks the disc in. And, like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little disgusted. The DVD player hums and Tegiri's TV lights up with a colorful title screen. You're ready to get settled in for a journey through a wonderful world of animes, but he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in. Hang on. This isn't the correct copy. The localization on these lines was changed after the original translator was culled by a purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. I specifically ordered the first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable. Tegiri stops the DVD player, ejects the disc, and places it back in its case. Come, there is still time in the night. We need to resolve this immediately. The shop that imported it for me is nearby. He heads for the door and beckons for you to follow, which you do. You guess it was too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, wasn't it? At least you get to go shopping for animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be at one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder? No. Unlike most stores in Alternia, this specialty shop is run by a living troll, a fellow collector who would not entrust such a work of automation. So one would expect, with an actual ThinkPan involved, there would be no careless mistakes like this. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble. Who's the owner? Oh god, I'm gonna meet someone from my past, aren't I? You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Does he know how awful it is here? You don't want to human-splain to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here. Things are pretty awful here. Oh. You guess he knows. He's staring at one of the many billboards that line the streets, which has been defaced with bright red graffiti. It's saying something pretty nasty about Triza. Rebel sentiments grow by the moment. Alternia lies on the verge of peril, a blade's edge. And not any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp, folded steel katana, forged under the East Alternian moonlight, heated by the bellows of breath of a magnificent draconian Lucis, cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall, and fit to be handled only by a true expert. Do dance. You're a little caught off guard by that question. Dancing? As in moving one's body to music? In a way, yes. Moving to the sweet music of steel on steel, the rhythm of combat and stiletto the stiletto steps that weave death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance? Oh, sword fighting, of course. You really should have figured that one out. This guy's dial has only 2 settings, talking about swords or talking about anime. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at one time. Talks about both at once, yeah. You tell him that you don't really know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool and you'd love to learn. Cool? Swordplay is more than cool. It is a way of life, a code of honor. To pick up a blade is to bind yourself to the tenets of Bushido, and to be prepared at all times to enforce justice the only way a swordman knows, through steel. Someday the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum. I must be ready to show them the true magnificent terror of the blade. Who knows? Maybe I would even be awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor. Congressional. A troll can dare to dream. So that's why he practices swordplay, huh? To enforce justice. Kind of like a vigilante? Vigilante? Please. I would only ever kill a troll who legally deserved death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for? You don't take him for a moron at all. In fact, he's very smart and clever and just. You hope that you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to enjoy the praise, just like all trolls do. Ah, we're here. This won't take too long. He's taking... what? I just realized that his eyes have never actually been open this whole time. He's taken you to a night market that reminds you of the place you went where you met Polypa. A strip mall lies to the... sorry, I'm blanking. A strip mall lies to the left of the many tents and stalls... what? To the many tents and stalls, and the sign above the door reads, Super Torpedo Imports. Okay. Tomato? As you enter, Tegiri makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking gold blood with pinkish-looking eyes. Pinkish-looking eyes? You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks a lot like Tegiri's living room, but bigger. Anime figures on sale for what looks like to be a preposterous amount of money, DVDs and comics lining the shelves, arcades and games in the corner. There's even a selection of replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately too deadly for your liking. Skulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't quite tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particularly interesting DVD when you're distracted by a commotion at the counter. Oh no. You're pretty sure you heard Tegiri snarling something about his rights as a consumer. Looks like trouble is brewing. You turn your head to the counter and listen in. Do you really think you can get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am? My blood caste? Oh god. Please don't say he's gonna have to talk to the manager. Well, he technically is talking to the manager. A teal blood like me has connections. A vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call. Ready to be unsheathed against my hapless foes. The legal force I can bring to bear against you is greater than your mind could ever imagine. A fleet of legislatures will descend upon you like shadow clones, each armed with the greatest weapon of them all, knowledge. And with our intricate understanding of the Alternian legal code, you will be mirrored in suits so myriad, so mind-numbing. You will wish for the swift and early death my blade can provide. Or you can offer me an exchange of equal and greater value to my original purchase. Which path will you choose to walk, scum? You wander closer to the counter, hoping you might be able to help resolve the situation, but instead you blunder right into the olive blood and send a box tumbling from his hands to the ground. A bunch of assorted products spill out as the shopkeeper gasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is. Looks like some more DVDs and manga. Oof. One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and a bright pink sign. Bright pink sign? The other— what? The other features some red-blooded douchebag wearing pants way too tall for him. What? Okay. Tegiri picks up one of the mangas and waves it in front of the shopkeeper's face. Care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate. Number the 2nd. Section 3.2. The depiction of non-standard hemological attributes is strictly forbidden. Oh. What? Oh, so he's angry because it has pink. Right? And that's not a blood color. Okay. Imperial Dictate, number the 7th, Section 5. Material which encourages action against the state is considered contraband of the highest degree. The olive blood, who can clearly see the situation careening downhill like a scuttlebuggy without wheel stops, begins to creep towards the door. You'd love to do the same, but you can't give up on a potential new friendship. It's basically pathological. To think my favorite Eastern Alternian hobby shop could stoop so low as to peddle into this criminal filth. What a sickening betrayal. Top 10 anime betrayals? The shopkeeper stammers, offering a litany of muddled explanations that only seemed to incense Tegiri further. He was holding it for a friend. No, wait, it's satire? Oh no. Why are his eyes— oh, it's probably contacts. Oh my god. Why? Tegiri slams a palm down on the counter and his eyes shoot open, revealing dark purple irises with a strange swirl pattern. Imperial Dictate, number the 61st, Section 2. Satire is especially contraband. You think you can mess with me? I've watched countless hours of legal drama, played and replayed legendary legislature, and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. Is this the Alternian version of I have the power of God and anime on my side? And now, it's time for the punishment due. You're fucking dead, kiddo. As Tegiri leans over the counter, his free hand grips the hilt of his katana and tenses. Ready to draw. He's about to straight up execute this guy. Well, I'm gonna save. Yep. Close menu and gonna do what's morally right. Which is wrong, because everything morally correct on Alternia is wrong, but, you know. Okay, you know this is a terrible idea, but you seriously had it up to here with being party to the murder of random trolls. You quickly interpose yourself between Tegiri and the Goldblood. Does he really have to kill this guy? For what seems to be his first offense. You launch into an impassioned spiel about love and friendship and justice, writing the value of forgiveness and second chances really hard. And, for good measure, you throw in a little side note about how Tegiri's favorite shop will close down if he kills this dude. Silence. Tegiri shoves you roughly aside, and you go careening into a display full of body pillows. And there he goes again. You watch, stomach plummeting, as Tegiri turns back to the shopkeeper and slowly draws his sword. But then, at the last second, he reconsiders. Look, consider yourself lucky that I'm in a good mood. If I catch you selling contraband again, your life will be mine. Tegiri strides out of the store, holding a fresh copy of the DVD he wanted to exchange. You give the shopkeeper a vaguely apologetic look and rush out of the store behind him. Whew, that was a close one. You thank Tegiri profusely for listening to your dumb little speech about whatever it was you said. Honestly, you already forgot. You are clearly new to this planet. I felt pity for your naivety, but I should have just killed him. Death is the legally prescribed punishment for such crimes as his. Actually, it's the legally prescribed punishment for most crimes. I should have separated him from his head. But I looked into your pleading eyes and I saw... Tegiri goes quiet. You would describe the silence as being particularly brooding. There's a lot of silence like that on this planet. Then, finally, he speaks. This isn't my first time. It was over a sweep ago, I believe. I was patrolling the Hive batch in search for evildoers when I caught the unmistakable scent of smoke in the air. Upon pursuing the lead, I saw a hive partially collapsed, partially on fire. My instincts flared. I rushed in to help the innocent soul who was trapped there. But as I was helping the girl bandage her wounds, it occurred to me that I had made a grievous error in judgment. Trolls below a certain age without a lucis or a proper hive are considered unviable, and slated to be culled. By rights, I should have put her out of her misery. The moment I realized by rights, I should have put her out of her misery the moment I realized my mistake. And yet, I looked into her deep gray eyes, dulled from the pain of loss, and I sheathed my blade. In fact, even though she is hiveless and lucisless, I remain in contact with her to this day. Knowing deep down that one day I must cull her. The law demands it. But I haven't yet. I don't know if I could. Why does my conviction waver at times like these? If he's talking about who you think he's talking about, you're pretty sure he couldn't kill her even if he tried. Yeah, he's talking about Polypa. But that's not the real point here. The point is, he's spilling some real, true, and deep emotion onto you. This friendship is basically in the bag. Just gotta drop some sweeving and some vague wisdom that makes him feel better without potentially not being an unthinking cog in the Alternian murder machine. You offer a light suggestion that maybe it is the legal stuff. You offer a light suggestion that maybe what is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing. Just a little thought. Maybe he's doing the right thing, overlooking her situation because of how obviously fucked up it is to be a homeless orphan. He goes silent for a long time, chewing his bottom lip. You're naive. Naive, uncultured, and unenlightened. Wow, thanks. You think the world is simple, like a cartoon for children. But this is Alternia, a land ruled by cold logic, where men such as myself must make hard decisions. It's not easy being dedicated to the code of law. It asks much of us and gives us little in return. But it gives us order. It keeps the beasts at bay. If I were to question it, what then? Would I begin to wonder if it is unjust for a blue blood to command his servants, for imperial drones to cull the infirm, for us to obey the ever-changing whims of Alternian royalty? It takes a lot of effort to suppress your, well, yeah, but for the sake of this burgeoning friendship, you allow him to continue his monologue. Riots in the streets. Troll killing troll. Even more than usual, I mean. No. I cannot waver. These hands must remain steady and true, though I feel a pull toward the scorching fangs of the light. I must continue my path and remain in the tender, righteous embrace of the dark. Truth be my blade, intellect my sensei, and justice my only companion on this lonely road. He goes on like that for quite a while, and it all starts to muddle together in your head, and you lose count of how many times he's repeated some screed about justice and truth and being smarter than all the other trolls in the room. It honestly sounds like he's just lonely. You know a whole lot about loneliness and the poor management thereof. Some people throw themselves into their nerdy anime hobby, and others become obsessed with making friends, no matter the cost to their mental and physical well-being. Maybe he just needs a couple of good pals to remind him what it's like to have a heart. But if you try to tell him that, he'll probably just respond with another long, winding monologue. Likely stolen from an anime he watched recently. Maybe you should just let him vent. You have my thanks for lending your ear. Oh, a compliment. What? Oh, a compliment brings you out of your reverie. Nothing interrupts the good old introspection machine like the opportunity to chug on some succulent ambrosia that is any kind of praise or gratitude. It's no big deal, you tell him. You're a great listener. That's what friends are for. Has he considered having more friends? Like you, for example. He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lone swordsman thing, so you hastily try to change the subject. What's with his eyes? Most trolls you've seen have gray irises, and those who didn't follow the typical biological trend of displays. Alright, well, we're just gonna scrap that. Most trolls you have seen have had gray irises, and those who didn't follow the biological trend of displaying. I don't even know. That did not make any sense to me. I'm giving up on it. Tegiri pauses his grip. What? No. Tegiri pauses, his grip tensing on his sword as his fangs dig into his lip. Oh geez, this must be his most closely guarded secret. Have you earned enough trust to hear it? They're contact lenses for cosplay. Oh, fair enough. Actually, is cosplaying a different blood caste even legal on this planet? If he's doing it, it probably is, right? You're about to ask when something distracts you, the sight of another troll standing in front of Tegiri's hive, using it as shelter from the rising sun. They're pacing back and forth with precise movements, glancing at one of the windows, almost like they're plotting to break in. And when they hear footsteps approaching, they perk up and whirl their head around, and hey, wait a second, you recognize them. Polypa! My girl! Yes! Polypa spots you before Tegiri spots her. Her expression is hard and stoic, eyes glancing between the two of you as she assesses the situation. Wow, this is a long video. I'm sorry, guys. And then, like she's throwing on a disguise, her face softens, and she smiles. Ah. Oh god. Oh, what voice did I do for her? Hey, Tegs. I was starting to wonder where you were and if anime night was cancelled. Your Lucis is staring at me through the window. I think he thinks it's funny watching me stuck outside, roasting to death while you're chasing purbeasts around the hive batch. Classic Tadashi. Why are you late? Just busier than expected, with some work. She shoots you a sharp glance. Oof. Assembling some new mecha models. You know how it is. Of course. It's all too easy to get wrapped up in one's hobby. Anyway, I didn't realize we had a third for once. Not to mention somebody I know. Nani? You and my kohai have already met? She pauses, her eyes darting back and forth between you two once more. She seems to be assessing the situation, wearing a look like an assassin trying to evade capture. You recognize that look, considering she was literally wearing it the last time you met. We're kinda more rouse. Oh shit. Whoa, that's absolutely not what you thought you were, but you just kind of nod your head and with it. It seems that's what she wants you to do. Oh, Moiros. Tegiri's face tightens. Oh, damn it! Tegiri's face tightens almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Nothing gets past your own friend-making eyes. Well, actually, a lot of things get past them, but not this particular thing. You're finally tuned to the nuances of social situations, as long as those nuances don't involve making binary choice on which your social structure hinges. Well, as you know, I am far too busy studying the blade to pursue quadrants of any sort. Oh my god. A foolish waste of time. Were it not for the laws of this land, I would swear them off entirely. Are you sure it isn't that you just can't get a date? You don't have to play the mysterious loner, you know. There's other clubs you could join instead of insisting on running your own. He huffs, looking away. You hear his Lucis barking from behind the window, a tone that sounds like laughter. Fools mock that which they cannot understand. Nani, you already know my kohai! And to think, I was going to congratulate you on finding love. Once you finished your spiel about romance being dumb. Polypa gives him a light, friendly whap, which he responds to with a smile. You can tell the exchange is friendly, not only because he's smiling, but because he's still standing. Yeah. Enough banter. The harsh glare of the sun begins to crest, and we have Eastern Alternian animation to indulge in. I'll allow you both to spend the day in my hive if needed. There's space. Oh shit, a slumber party? And with more than one participant even? That's gotta be worth extra friend points. You were so in. Shelter from the broiling death orb and the sun. What? Shelter from the broiling death orb in the sky barely even registers to you as an added bonus. Polypa smiles at you and the three of you enter Tegiri's hive. Puppy! Tegiri covers up all his windows to block out the sun and then starts up the new copy of his DVD, which thankfully seems to meet his standards this time. You settle on the couch, basking in the warm glow of friendship, and prepare to lose yourself to the hours of beautiful, wonderful animes. Fuck yeah! That was awesome! I don't know what that says, but yes, thank you for this blessing. I'm so glad it ended well. So yeah, that was, Tegiri's, I think it was his short bad route and his good route. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It might be the last one I'll be making for a little bit, because I have to start packing for college pretty soon. I leave in September, like, really, really beginning of September. But yeah, maybe the next, I could probably film a couple more videos after this one. But pretty soon you'll be hearing from me in Georgia and not where I am right now, which is, New England. So, thank you for watching this video. Thank you all for staying with me this long, if you have. If you enjoyed, please, I really recommend you play this game for yourself. There will be a link in the description where you can go check it out. But if you do not want to play it for yourself, feel free to check out my playlists, which will be at the end of the video, and it has all routes for everyone. And I voiced every troll, which is pretty obvious, and it sucks, but it's fun. So, thank you for watching this video for the third time, and I will see you all next time. Bye!